Hi, Shelley.
Hi.
Good
Hi,
to see you
hi.
again.
You
Hi, Ruthie
too.
Ann and Lynn and Annemie and
Hi, I'm going to
Leslie,
keep my
Julia.
video up.
Oh, okay. But you look lovely. It's nice to see you, Ruthie. I don't know what she said, but keep it off because, oh, husband and I are having dinner. Okay. Well, that's nice of you to join us, though. So thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll wait a couple more minutes and then introduce Aurelia. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and just pop the link in to the group feed really quickly. So I'm going to take myself off so you don't get feedback. I'll be right back. And then I'll introduce you, Aurelia. So chat amongst yourself.
How's everyone today?
Great.
Good.
Where are you located, Aurelia?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm
Okay.
in my meditation room in the back. So if you see like trees and it's a meditation I built or my husband built for me. So it's
Yeah.
like if you see, you can see my
Nice.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
where I
I'm in
work.
North County, San Diego, so not too far. What part of LA are you in?
Woodland Hills. So
Okay.
the valley. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I lived in well, San Gabriel Valley and then Long Beach and Orange County, drifting south.
Finally got to San Diego.
Yeah, yeah, I've been here a while, and then I had a little beach house down in Rosarito Beach, so it made it really convenient to go back and forth from here to there for a lot of years.
Nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't get
Mm.
much more south than where you are right now in California, does it, Shelley? I think
No,
you're
not too
kind of as
much.
south as Baja, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I can be in Mexico in an hour, so
Wow, that's amazing. Okay,
yeah.
well, are you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the Business Mastery Series. We're going to be doing this on the 15th of every month, basically just like showcasing a different Quantum Journeys Hypnosis graduate and how they're using Quantum Journeys Hypnosis and whatever it is that they would like to share. So sometimes it might be they want to share like their particular niche, or they might want to share different modalities and how they've kind of combined that with Quantum Journeys, or they might share how they're marketing or who they're marketing to or whatever. We're going to leave it up to each person to decide. So today we have Aurailia Arnold. Aurelia is an energy healer, spiritual mentor, and an empowerment coach. And she helps those who, hold on. There we go. Helping women remember who they are through the lens of human design, which is pretty fascinating. I've talked to a couple people about human design. I don't pretend to understand it, but finding out what mine was, I definitely resonated with some of the stuff. So let's see, so that they can create a life that they are lit up by, which I really love that phrase. That's a great phrase to use for like your slogan. She's a shamanic Reiki master healer, Akashic Records healer. She integrates violet flame Reiki, Metatron healing, crystal healing, sound healing, light language activation, and human design. And also, you were just telling me, Aurelia, about chakra
Chakra dance.
something certification. Right there. So, okay, I'm going to just hand it over to her now so that she can share with us what she does. I do know that she tends to work more with groups than one-on-one. And so any of you who are looking at doing more group work, definitely you want to tune into this one. Okay, take it away, my
Yeah.
dear.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's so great to have you here today, and I'm really excited because I find that these kind of Zoom calls are so valuable because then you get to hear from others on how it actually works in their business, real life, and it's so different from so many other people. And yeah, I come from corporate, so I was in corporate for 20 years. I was an executive director, for a multi-million dollar company. And yeah, and then when COVID hit, a year later, I was laid off, like so many other people. But that kind of gave me a wake-up call that I didn't want anyone to have control over my life like that. I started getting interested in hypnosis, I think after the first year that I got into coaching. I wanted to do something, and the only thing that for me made sense was going into coaching because I've already was doing that in the corporate world. And then I wanted something that really helped people overcome their limiting beliefs and fears, because that's what I was seeing that was holding so many people back from moving forward in their business, as well as me. Like, I didn't think I had that many limiting beliefs when I started my business. So many limiting beliefs came up to the surface, and fears and doubts, and I was like, what? Like, I thought I was someone that really like was confident, and I found that that wasn't really the case. It's not about confidence, more about like I just had so many stories that were coming up to the surface on why I shouldn't do this, or I wasn't enough, or other people are doing it better and have been doing it for years, and all of the stories that come up when we start a business. And so I started listening to self-hypnosis, and I found that it was just so fascinating and helped me so much that I went into that I wanted to study hypnosis, and I started with RTT. I think Kryssa also started with RTT. But I quickly, after a few months, I just found that it was just not authentic. Like, I just felt like there was just something that really didn't resonate. And I really need to be surrounded by people that were authentic. And like, I didn't feel that. And so after spending $8,000 that I didn't have, I found Kryssa. I actually found human design first. I found human design, which human design, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's a energetic blueprint of who you are. So when we're born, we have neutrinos that hit us, neutrino energy that hit us, and then it creates this energetic blueprint. So it gives you, I guess it like gives you different ways to understand why you do things, why you react to certain things, why certain things interest you. And it combines like the Kabbalah, the chakra system, the Chinese I Ching, the quantum physics. It combines all of that together. And I was fascinated. And so I started doing human design. And in my human design, I am known as someone that is a multi-passionate person that needs to do many, many different things. So before I knew that, I actually thought that was a problem. I kept hearing from other people and then myself, like, why can't you just focus on the one thing? Like, what's wrong with you, right? Like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just focus on this? And I was like, I just can't. Like, I jump from one thing to the next. And I started to believe that that was wrong. And finding human design, I realized that it was right for me. Not for everyone, but for me. But I still felt that there was something like I needed that hypnosis. I needed something that really like helped people like overcome. Now that they know who they are in human design and they know how to experiment with that, I wanted something that really helped. And when I saw Kryssa's Quantum Journeys Hypnosis, and it was all about spirituality, and she was talking, I think you were talking about like Akashic Records or something in one point, I'm like, yeah, that like really resonates. And so I joined, and then after that, I think I joined the live. And it just felt like home. It like really resonated. And the different approach to hypnosis and teaching others, or not teaching others, helping others, just really resonated, because I was putting I guess the healing or whatnot on the client. Like, they were the ones that were responsible for their own healing. And I thought that that was just perfect, because that is really what I believed as well, even as an energy healer. Or I always believe like that comes from the actual client, not from me. I'm not gonna have like some woo-woo magic that's gonna do that if the client is not willing to do that for themselves. And that's what really led me to do Quantum Journeys Hypnosis. So I am someone that I love one-on-ones. I really do. But I was telling Kryssa before this that it really needs to be the right people for to do one-on-ones. I am not someone that will just do 20 sessions or 30 sessions a week, just to get through. And, I really need to connect with the people. And usually the one-on-ones that hire me, it's usually for 3 months, 6 months and beyond. So it's not a 3 session there are some like that, but it's mostly like for continuous coaching. And then I combine quantum journeys hypnosis, other like NLP, human design, whatever that's needed. Like I have all these tools to grab. Um, I had this dream of having a membership, a group program where I have many different women that are on the same journey of wanting to step into their next level selves, that wanted to create a business, and create a life that they're lit up by. And so I thought, like, one day during meditation, I downloaded this membership, and that would include human design and quantum journeys hypnosis and different hypnosis modalities, and the ceremonies, cacao ceremonies that I do online. And then I talked to my coach, and my coach said, no, don't do it because you don't have enough followers. You have a small email list. It's not going to succeed. You need to wait till you have enough people, then move forward on that. And you know what? I was like, I'm going to do it anyways. Like, I really feel into it. I really feel that a membership is something that I really, really want. And even if I have 2 people in the membership, that's okay because I believe in it and I know that it's going to be successful, and it's going to get better and better. And so she's not my coach anymore because I don't really love it when people are very strong-minded and want to do things their way instead of listening to the client. But
There's no one size fits all. And I think you learned that from human
isn't.
design because you're like, hey, this is for me, but it's not the way everybody works. And it sounds like
Yeah.
your coach maybe would benefit from learning that, your previous coach.
Actually, she did. She went after that and got certified in human design. So she's grown since. So I started in February. I actually launched it in February, and 10 people joined right away. And because I was doing these cacao ceremonies and visualization, I was actually doing group hypnosis without even knowing that I was doing group hypnosis. And now it's at 26 people. And my goal, obviously, my dream is to have hundreds of women that, we're all growing together and succeeding in this. But like what I want to convey, it's like, even if you just have, like, if you do want to do group stuff and group programs, even if you start out with like 2 or 3, that is still amazing because then you get to evolve. The 10 people allowed me to try out group hypnosis. We do group hypnosis once a month. I walk them through the happy, safe place and the hallway of answers, and we go in. One time we did a journey into the hallway of answers, and then we went into the Akashic Records library. And so they all went, every person's library looked different because we shared at the end. And then from there, they got to find the book that was going to lead them to their highest timeline. Like 3 years from now, highest timeline where you've succeeded. And so like I bring in these different pieces, but just like
Yeah, so it's like you did Akashic Records with a little bit of quantum jump.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like you're doing it so that it's a vague enough guiding system that anybody can have their experience.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's actually
And I love
worked
that you're taking
really well.
this and making it yours.
Yeah.
Like you're making your own thing out of it, which is the opposite of what RTT would allow for us to do, right?
Exactly. I wasn't okay with that. And in human design, I learned that I was somebody that, like, I am here to show people to step out of the box and do what is not the norm. Like, what, to do the things your way. And this is like how I am. And it's been great. It's been successful. The group hypnosis and the cacao ceremonies, because we do cacao ceremony and group hypnosis as well. The cacao ceremony is a beautiful cacao ceremony, and then we quantum jump into our next level selves or highest timeline. Or sometimes we do different things, inner child healing, and different things that the group needs. Um, the thing that was great is also when I graduated QGH or got my certification, I was able to offer free sessions to everyone in the group, in the membership. And that allowed me to, one, practice, really practice the sessions and get better and better and see what works, what doesn't work. And for them, it was amazing because they got a free session and they got a taster of what it's like to work with you one-on-one. 80% of the women in the group got hired me for a session, coaching, or human design or something. 80%. And so that in the group, I made it where it's very accessible. It's like $22 a month. You get like a library of hypnosis, all these things. But what I love about it is that I really get to try out different things. So even though it's a $22 group program, out of that $22, I made like 15,000. So because people hired me for different things. And so like that's what I love about that. I what was I gonna say? I now I get to play with QGH because now it's like I also put them in bundles as well right now. That's like one of the offerings that I'm about to launch, where I bundle it with the different modalities that I learned. So it comes with like a 3-session QGH where it's, or 3-session bundle where it starts with human design, where we go over the chart and who you are and what you came here to do and what are your gifts and what are the areas where you are prone to conditioning from the world. But then on the next session, we go through a QGH session to overcome some of the blocks that's blocking you from moving forward. And then the last session is integration, where we integrate the both and we see like what's next. And I've already tried this with a couple of people and it was very successful. They actually hired me for more after that.
You know what I love about this the most is that you didn't spend months and months and years trying to figure out how to plan and present the most perfect packaging. You were like, I want to do this. I know that I want it to go in this direction. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. I'm going to just put it out there and then I'm going to grow and evolve as it naturally, organically grows and evolves. I feel like everybody could really like take something from that wisdom, right? That you don't have to have something completely perfect and ready to go and like polished up and whatever. You can allow yourself to just put it out there and be like, here's what I would like to offer, and we're going to grow together.
Yeah.
I love
And
that. I love that you're doing that.
I am a perfectionist though. Like I come from like when I was director, like when I was in corporate, I was a perfectionist, like everything needed to be perfect. And, that was very hard for me. But the thing is that in the beginning,
it sounds like you moved into a state of greater trust. Because
yeah,
what I found with perfectionism is there's no trust. Perfectionism is like a form of control. And when you have that depth of control, it's control. No trust.
Yeah, it's trying to control the situation and trying to control the outcome. And what I've learned is that when I was doing that and trying to control the outcome and make it perfect and all that, I would have 0 signups, 0 sales, nothing. Like it seemed like it was perfect and polished and nothing. But when I approached it and decided to just launch the things that I felt really called to, that I felt like really excited about, because I think that's the key. You need to be excited about the thing that you're doing and launching. I would get people feeling into it and then joining. and purchasing the products or whatnot. And that just showed me that the messiness is what people actually want. The messiness.
Yeah, the
Because
authenticity,
polished,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Like imagine like when you walk into a home, if there's a room where everything is so pristine and perfect and polished, you feel like you can't even exist in it. You're like, oh, I can't sit. I can't touch anything. I can't like there's no life happening here, you know? And then you walk into a home where there's a throw blanket over here, a pillow might be a little bit askew, there's a kitty cat sleeping in the window, it's like comfortable, lived in. It's not a big old
Yeah.
mess, but it's like, and people are like, oh, this feels good. I resonate with this. I
Yeah.
love that you're just that you're putting yourself out there with that trust and just trusting that your tribe will find you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's all a learning process. I mean, my membership in Body Wealth keeps evolving, and I'm open to that. I'm open to see what doesn't work and what works. I'm open to remove. The group hypnosis wasn't a thing that I launched with, but as it came in, as I was doing this with the group, I had an idea, group hypnosis. That's great. That's amazing. And again, one of my coaches said, "Oh, well, then you should charge more. You should charge 47 at least, or maybe $99." And I'm like, I feel really good about 22. Like, I want to have a group of women that we're just like, I want to, maybe in the future, I don't know, but like, it feels really good to me. And I think that's key. If it feels really good to offer something the way that you want to, like, that's key. That's what makes it successful. And it doesn't matter if someone says, "Oh, well, what?" So this is what they said, like, don't you think you're worthy of more? And I'm like, what does that have anything to do with it? Just because I'm charging less money does not mean that I think that I'm unworthy of more. This is what I want to offer. I see this as an amazing membership. And the women there have purchased more. Like, I have this belief that I know they're going to hire me for more. Because I also
And
do,
that right there is, I think, what your coach wasn't realizing is that the 22 was getting their foot in the door, but
yeah,
they're purchasing so much more than that. It's not about the 22. It's
yeah,
about the membership
exactly. There's a
and the offering.
strategy behind it.
Yeah.
I don't just do things just
Yeah.
for them. There's a strategy, of course.
Well, I
Um,
do, but I'm glad that you have a little bit more of a strategy than I do because, like, typically I throw something out there and I'm like, did it stick? Oh, okay, maybe not that time.
no, I've done that. I've done that many times. I've thrown stuff out and tried things, and but now it's like I tune in more to like strategy as well. So taking the both, like not waiting too long or perfecting something before throwing it out there, but also having a strategy behind it on is this is great and that could lead to this and that could lead to this, and having different funnels, so that you can continuously offer things for the clients, so that they can become successful. Because if the clients are successful, like in my niche, like my niche is helping, women step into the next level self and succeed in their business and all that. So if the women in my world become successful and they step into the next level self, that's just like, that feels amazing to me. Um,
Can I ask you a quick question,
yeah.
Aurelia?
Uh-huh.
You had earlier mentioned that, for a little while you were plagued with those like, oh my gosh, there's people better than me. Who am I to be doing this when they know more than me? Da, da, da. And I think a lot of people can,
Yeah.
they accidentally get stuck in the thought of like there's competition or whatever, because we're raised in a culture that instills
Yeah.
that, which sucks. And I hope we grow out of it soon. But anyway, how did you get out of that yourself? Because I think there's probably people in here that could really benefit from like doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, just like to be truthful here completely, I'm not out of it. Like, I still have those things come up, but I don't let it control me. I don't let it lead me. There's always the fears and the things that come up. I started shifting my mindset and the way that I saw things. So instead of seeing somebody that is successful and they're doing it better and wow, they're amazing, they're doing it for a long time, like who am I actually started looking at them and seeing them as like the possibility. look at what's possible. This is possible. And I started changing the way that I even approach it, like as being excited for it.
How
So
very
now
NLP
it's
of
like,
you.
what was that?
I said, how very NLP of you.
So,
NLP, neural language. Yeah, because you would
yeah,
look at, instead of being jealous of somebody who's, where you want to be, you would look at them as like, oh, if they can do it, then I can model myself after that. It's very
yeah,
sort of NLP
exactly. Like that's how I see
foundation.
that. Yeah, I see that. Like when I see somebody that really is successful, there's someone in my world or in, because I'm in mastermind. So there's someone in the mastermind, she makes $100,000 a month. So to me, it's like, when I first heard that, I was like, how do I even, like, there's no way I can't, like, that's not possible. She's been doing for, now I see it as like, look at what's possible. I'm so excited that I get to reach that level, one day soon, hopefully.
That's incredible. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
I
So,
look at it as I sort of remove myself from the competitive thing entirely and just look at each one of us. We might have very similar information, but the way that we put it together is always going to be unique because none of us have ever walked the same footsteps ever. So even if we're all using QJH, we're using it in slightly different ways. We all have different backgrounds, different life experiences. The way we explain things, our energy and how we relate to our clients is going to be different. So we can have all the same tools, even the same toolboxes, and it's still going to be unique from each of us. So like there's really no competition. There just isn't. There's 8 billion people, 8.1 billion people on the planet, I should say. There was
yeah.
8 billion when I first started talking about all this, but now we've increased. Anyway, so yeah, and I love that. I love that you found, instead of like getting like feeling, envious or, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. How am I ever going to reach that level? They're so much better than me, that you're like, if they can do it, maybe I
Yeah.
can too. And
Yeah.
enjoying the process, the path, the journey there. So thank you so much
Sure.
did anybody else sort of get anything out of that? Does anybody resonate with that sense of like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. There's people better than me. How am I ever going to, okay. Did this help? Yeah. Okay, good, good. Because we're not in competition with each other. None of
Mhm.
us. And I actually look at it like the more of us there are, then the more information that's getting out into the public, and then the more normal it's going to seem to go to a hypnotherapist, an energy worker, that sort of thing, because it's going to become just as normal as going to a chiropractor, which was really not normal like 60 years ago, right? But now it is. Okay, I'll shut up now. Go ahead. I just
No,
really
no,
wanted to get
no.
that out there because you touched on it and you didn't say anything. I was like, I bet they're going to love hearing how you did that.
No, no, it's very helpful that you're like putting it all together, because it is something that I really struggled with at first. And it still comes up, and that's okay. It's always going to come up. There's always going to be fear, there's always going to be doubts, but what is it that you do in the moment? And what do you allow to lead you? Are you going to allow fear and doubt lead you, or are you going to just step over that and do it anyways? Because doing it anyways, even though it's scary, is what's going to take you to that next level. Because
It trains your
the magic
brain to
is on
like
the other
not
side of
take
that.
the doubt so seriously. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. It does. And if you give in to the doubt and let it stop you, then you're training your brain to let doubt continue to stop you.
yeah,
But if
exactly.
you go ahead and just do the thing, even with the fear, then you're training your brain not to let the doubt stop you. And then pretty soon you don't have as much of it. I do kind of hope that we all still have a little bit always. I know
Oh
I
yeah.
hate to put that curse on you, but if you ever get to the point where you have absolutely no self-doubt whatsoever, that's scarier, I
No,
think.
I think it's more of like, then you haven't reached high enough. You haven't reached to the point where you're just like going on to the next level, because when you're at that place, then you're too comfortable, and that's not where success really happens, is in your comfort zone. So then you have to start
Right.
maybe looking at like where's the next level? Like how do I move forward? Yeah, I guess that's for me. Like for me, because when I get too comfortable, then I also see my business dip. Like when I get too comfortable and I'm just not really like, I guess, in the energy of creation, I get comfortable and I get kind of lazy, then yeah, I see the
Yeah, the
business dip.
complacency. And there's also the other side, which is like, if there's some people that they just don't suffer from self-doubt at all, right? Because they're kind of just so arrogant that it wouldn't occur to them to doubt themselves, right?
Yeah,
They can
that's
be kind of dangerous in this industry.
yeah, yeah,
So we don't want that, right? So I think having a little bit of self-doubt kind of keeps you in check. But if it's so much that it stops you, that's not helpful either, because what is our purpose? Our purpose here is to help people. We got to start with ourselves, right? That's the foundation. But if you let it stop you, then you're not doing that,
yeah.
right? Anyway,
I was the only one.
I'm hearing, I think that's there. All right, go ahead, Aurelia.
One of the other thing was that kept me kind of back at first, even with QGH, it's that the fear that if I do something that's similar to somebody else that's doing, then I felt like, oh, am I stealing? Like, that kept me back a lot. Like the thought of like, oh, but it's like I'm doing the same thing as this person. And I had to really work on that, as in, because you mentioned something earlier, I had to really work on that and see like, well, I'm unique. I have my own background and the way that I approach it is different. I had somebody in the group that she wanted to open up her own group and do something similar. And I was like, all for it. I was like, yes. Like, I think that if we share, like, if we're able to just do, and nobody has ever invented, like, I didn't invent a membership with cacao ceremonies. It's like the way that I approach it and do it is differently. The way that I bring all the different tools is differently. Even if she does exactly the same, has a ceremony, has a hypnosis group, session, it's not going to be the same because I have a different
Yeah,
energy.
and she'll attract different kinds of people than you would, which means the group itself is going to evolve organically in a different
Exactly.
way. Like there's no cookie cutter to it. There's no one size
Yeah.
fits all, and we're all unique. So yeah, absolutely.
And as long as you don't
And I've actually
copy.
seen some people that are like using some similar verbiage to me. And at first I started to get a little bit like, hey, are they taking my ideas? And then I kicked myself in the rear and I was like, Kryssa, don't be so silly. You didn't create multidimensional consciousness, woman. Like I had to get my ego in check, right? And now I'm actually like really happy that there's more people that are talking about it because it makes it more valid in the world.
Yeah.
So when people hear that term, they're not like, what is this crazy woman talking about? They're like, oh, I think I heard somebody else say that. And that actually helps us all, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
just
sure.
gotta keep the ego out of there, at least for myself. I have to keep my ego in check.
Well, I mean, it's like it's a journey, right? We evolve. The more that we move forward, we evolve and we shift things. Um, the current I have a current offer that I've also rolled out because this is something that I found very helpful in getting more clients, is offering a very low ticket, like taster in a sense. And that's something that not everybody's going to be, want to do. But for me, what I found, so like my new offer right now, it's a 45-minute session to talk about a block that's blocking you. When I pull up your human design as well to see like where where it is on your chart that's like causing you to feel this way. And then do a 15-minute hypnosis at the end to kind of anchor these changes. It's a 45-minute taster for $45. And again, someone told me like, what? Why are you offering it for $45? Do you not feel like your sessions are worthy? And I said, that has nothing to do with worthiness. It has to do with a strategy, first of all. And then it's an opportunity to allow people to get to know me. To get to know me and get to know my energy and how it is to work with me before they sign up for something bigger. People are not just going to come and spend thousands of dollars without even knowing who you are and your energy or anything like that. So here I'm offering like a taster, like here. So instead of the free 20-minute discovery calls, which I do that, but for me, I found that I've had people come in trying to get a session and not really interested to get further, trying to get free stuff and not really interested to get, and that really, first of all, it's a waste of my energy. And I don't know, it created this like bad taste in my mouth for these free sessions.
Resentment. And then how many of those 20-minute phone calls end up turning into longer anyway? So I think
Not
you're
a
on
lot. Not a lot.
Yeah.
And so
I do, but it's usually colleagues. With my colleagues, they turn into longer than 20 minutes because they want to talk to me about, all the stuff that we're all fascinated with. I like your idea of doing the 45 minutes for $45 as an introductory offer into your world. You know?
Because then you get to talk to them. You get to actually create a shift for them where they come out feeling really great. And then you end up with a 15-minute hypnosis. You send them the recording of that 15-minute hypnosis where they can listen to your voice over and over, right? And then the next thing, they're like, okay, I feel really good. If this is 45 minutes, then what is her bundle going to be like? Or what is it going to be like to work with her? And I got this idea from another coach that did this that was really successful. And so I took it on and I'm like, yeah. And so just to be real, like I launched this and I had like just a few days ago and 0 crickets. So I'm saying this because it's like, I want you to understand, like, even if you have an amazing idea and you put it out there and you're launching and you're excited, all of that, and then 0 in crickets, like, that's okay. There's nothing wrong here. Like I've
Sometimes
learned
it takes a little time to get the traction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm going to quit and not offer this. It's perfectly fine because I know, like, I've worked with clients and people and I know that they have this excitement, they launch it, they see like after a few days it's 0 people, no interest, and then they back out and they pull it. But
Right.
I'm saying like staying consistent and just believing in it, because I believe in it, believing in it and just moving forward, and that's going to be like my signature taster. So this is going to
Well,
be
how you position it on your webpage will help a lot too. Because like if they see that your normal sessions are, I don't know, 300 or 400 or something, but then there's this for $45, most people are going to be like, I feel good about committing to $45 to get to know whether or not I want to work with this person,
And also sometimes it takes 7 times for people to see an offer before they actually commit. So once or twice doesn't really do it. It's like showing up over and over, sharing it on social media, sharing it in your email, just continuing to talk about it, to share it. Then suddenly here a session, there a session. It's the same thing that happened with human design. When I first launched, I was like, this is the most amazing tool. Everybody's gonna want this. People are gonna love this. I launched it in like nothing. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But I kept going. I kept moving forward. And then suddenly, as I was talking about it more and more, without pulling the brakes, like I just kept doing it. I kept talking about it. I kept believing in myself and believing in this tool so much that suddenly a session got booked, another session. And the next thing I know, it's like I was booked with the human design and with other things. And from human design, they went into hypnotherapy. They went in, after that into coaching. Like I also do website design. So I actually started taking clients where I either do, like I work on their website, I create a website for them, a simple website, because you really don't need something too crazy. Or I just coach them through, because some people like to do their own. But the people that hired me for the website also now, the 3 people that did now are hiring me for monthly container, where we work on also the stuff that comes up as we build our business, right? So they want me to work with them on different bundles and projects and things like that, but also to overcome the things. So the reason I brought that up is because if you are good at other things, like that could come together. You know, you can offer something and then have continuous different offerings, you know, to bring in hypnosis, to bring in other things. Because when people are going to feel you, they're going to feel your energy, they're going to want to do more work with you.
And for those that don't have a gazillion different interests and hobbies and jobs and career paths and whatever, like Aurelia does, that's okay too, because, and this is something I learned from Jason Lynette actually, is that you can continue to use the same message over and over and over again, and it's going to find different people, and it's going to find the same people at different times, so they'll hear different parts of it. So like, even though you might feel like a broken record because you're, you know, kind of saying like, here's what I do, here's what I offer, here's how I can help, and you feel like you're just saying the same thing over and over, you're reaching different people at different parts in their lives every single time. And it also, like Aurelia was saying, it sort of like cements you as the person who does that thing. Right. So don't be afraid to repeat yourself. I fell into I'm still getting over it, but you know, the thing where like, every time I offer something, it has to be different than what I've offered before. And then I have people going like, aren't you ever going to offer that thing again? And I'm like, oh, I already did that. For me, I'm like, that's behind me. And they're like, but I didn't get to do it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should dust that off and do it again, you know? And that's weird for me because I'm like, that's back there. You want me to? Oh, okay. All right. Sure. But it's because there's people who find those things and then they're like, I didn't get to do that. I want to do that. So don't be afraid to repeat yourself or to have the same offers. And if you don't have 50 gazillion different, you know, pies going, that's okay too. We're all wired differently. I have like 3 pies going. Aurelia has like 20. I can't do 20. I could maybe 3 to 5.
That's in my human design. I'm a manifesting generator, so I'm a multi-passionate, like I need to have different offers. But sometimes that's actually something that's, because I found like the simpler it is, the better. Like even my website I'm redoing because I want to bring it down to simple, you know, simple offerings, offering, you know, 2 or 3 things that are the main things, and that's it. Like I find that when you offer too many things, people get overwhelmed and they don't know
well,
what
they
to
can't
do
find
with
you,
it.
you know,
Yeah.
like if somebody's specifically looking for like hypnosis for whatever their issue is, hypnosis for overcoming trauma, hypnosis for anxiety, hypnosis for insomnia, but you
they
have
don't know.
all of these different things you're offering, the search is going to miss you entirely, and it's going to go to somebody who's offering that using those words.
I found that the people that do that are the more successful because, like I said, I'm in masterminds of women that are very successful, and I've been studying them and watching them, and I've been seeing like more and more of them are really simplifying their offers. Like instead of 20, 30 different offers, they're coming down to 3 or 4. That's it.
And that doesn't mean that they're not still like working with many different issues, because every client is multifaceted, right? So if somebody shows up because they have insomnia, that doesn't mean they're also not going to have other things they would like to work with you on. So it's not like you're going to just be an assembly line of only working with this one thing. Every person's going to come to you with that plus whatever else, right?
Exactly.
And actually, I'm way overdue with redoing my website because I have too many things on there.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's like it's part of the journey. It's like we learn what works, what doesn't work, and we evolve. You know, that's part of it, and it's okay. And the other piece of like getting new clients is by offering, you know, having a free offerings. So I have a couple of free offerings where I offer free hypnosis audio, and I offer also like a human design energy type guide for the individuals. So when somebody goes and downloads the free stuff, they get put into a funnel that leads to more things. So having something that you offer for free, and especially when we're in hypnosis, we're in that world, it's like you can offer various different hypnosis audios, which people love, meditations, hypnosis, things like that.
Beautiful. Yeah. Also, maybe this is a good time to mention that. So I have the the QJH marketing thing coming up in September. And what that does is really just help you hone in on your ideal client avatar, your niche, and like where to find them, the verbiage to use. But then Aurelia and Leslie have been collaborating on coming up with something where they're going to be helping people to implement relatively simple websites with calendar and whatever verbiage you guys choose, and maybe templates or something with like different color schemes, branding, fonts, things like that. And then I've also brought David Marshall on board, who's going to be the next step, which is like, if you really want to start earning that residual income, you know, from products that you can sell, from digital products, courses, classes, audios, whatever, ebooks, etc. He would help with the creating that funnel that's going to take them from here and here, and then sort of point them wherever they need to go. Like, yes, I like this. No, I'm going to go here. Yes, I like this. No, I'm going to go here. Like he's sort of the master at that stuff. So we're slowly putting together a whole team for the graduates. So once you graduate, it's going to open up, and I think most of you in here are. But for people who are watching this later, the students who aren't graduated, there is a plan. There is a plan that, like, once you graduate, it's going to open up to the marketing thing, and then Aurelia and Leslie helping you if you would like that, and then David helping you if you would like that. So yeah, and I think that maybe by the end of September, we'll have a clearer idea of what Aurelia and Leslie are going to be able to offer for people.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
just want
going
to
to
put that
Bali
there now
next
so I can start to plug you about it, right? I want to kind of get a little bit of buzz generated. Yeah. Since we're
Yeah.
here now.
I'm going to be in Bali for a couple of weeks, so like by the time I come back, I think Leslie will have some of that stuff up. I think she's here on the call.
Yes. Yep. She is.
Yeah.
We just can't see her.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'll have you guys maybe just do one of these calls so that you, once you have it a little bit more figured out, so that you can say like, here's what we offer, and walk people through it. And there might be like different price points or something. So, because I know like some of you have been struggling with getting a website going, and maybe some of you paid too much for a website that you're like, oh, I don't need all those bells and whistles. I think I want something more simplified, or, you know, whatever. So it's just a nice option to have for the people who are either looking to get a website or looking to redo their website.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
So is this
so that,
this has been helpful for you guys? I want you to also feel free to just reach out to me if you have questions. Definitely. You know, I see things a little bit in my own in my own way. So it's not always in the way that most people are doing things.
how about this? Where do you find the people that are populating your groups, your membership?
You know what? I've had a lot of word of mouth. People that have brought their girlfriends and, you know, in because they love it. But I'm starting a podcast, actually, and I feel like podcasts are amazing to get new clients on YouTube, especially. But these podcasts, I'm going to make like a YouTube video, but then take the audio and then place it in the different podcasts so that you get seen in different areas. And it's all going to be about, for example, I really want to get real with people and talk about like what it really takes instead of the fluff. Like I want to take people behind the scenes and what I'm doing and why I'm doing things, and just kind of like open up the doors and have them see some of my mistakes and some of like my successes. But you know, just to like open that up.
Where have you found them so far? Like at this point, like have you been doing that mostly social media, or is it more local? Or
it's been on social media. It's been on Instagram, Facebook, and then I have a very small email list, like 260 people that I send out emails to, consistent, because it is all about being consistent. You really need to send weekly emails so that you're at the top of their mind when they're thinking of somebody that can help them.
There's like a fine line there between being consistent and being spammy, you know, because sometimes people, because I have different groups, and like some people are in all of them. And so then they'll get like 5 emails a week from me, and I feel bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, Shelly, by the way, because I know you're one of them.
You know, But you know what I
Ruthie, you
found?
too? But not me. What's that?
You know what I found though is that like I get emails from people that I follow. Like sometimes I'll get 2 or 3 emails a day from them.
Oh, wow.
What I found is that I actually look forward to them and it doesn't bother me at all. So I say like if you want to email every day, if you want to email once a week and the people stay, they're your people. And if they get annoyed, they're not your people, you know? And so do what's right for you. Like if you want to do it every day, great. If you want to do it once a week, fine. But the key is to stay consistent and not just send a couple emails here and then a couple of months later you don't, and then you send another email there. And that's, yeah, I found that that's not an ingredient for success for me, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Consistency is probably the hardest thing in my life, actually. I am also a
Yeah.
manifesting generator. I am
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
hummingbird of the, human design, just like choo, 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 choo. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm working on it. I'm getting there. I'm a work in progress. So
Yeah. It's
I find
actually
that
very
I do work
difficult.
really well with collaborations, though. If I have one other person that I'm like, um, sort of beholden to, that I'm
Yeah.
accountable to collaborate on things, then I will in fact be consistent because there's one other person counting on me to be consistent. But if it's just me on my own, I'm like, I don't know. I think I want to go to the beach today.
Well, like that's funny because it's like that's how I was, and I felt like I needed to have that container to like hold me accountable. But the group
Yeah.
program and my membership is doing
Oh,
that because I have to show up
yeah.
every week. I have to show up every day because we do 21-day challenges every month. So it's making me show
Oh,
up every
wow.
day. It's making me, just be. And that's really helped me to overcome that and to get into the habit of consistency.
Good, good, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you found something that works for you. Yeah. I like am always teetering on the edge of like feeling a little bit claustrophobic by having too many obligations and then feeling like I'm not accountable and consistent enough. So it's like I have to like there's this like tiny little razor's edge that I have to walk for success. And if I fall off on one side or the other, then it's hard to scramble back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just me. I hope that I
That's
don't
in your
have a
human
lot of people in
design.
here that struggle with
Yeah.
that. Is it?
Yeah.
I used to actually have this thing where if I saw a full calendar, I would go into like panic. And then, of course, if I didn't have a full calendar, I would go into panic. And so I would have to figure
Yeah.
out like, okay, what's the exact right amount of like where it feels good on both sides? It's not too much, it's not too little. And I finally have found that, but guess what? Now it's changing. So thanks, brain. Anyway. It is what it is. We're all a work in progress, right?
Yes,
But I was
exactly.
doing like 10 to 12 sessions a week every week, and I got kind of burned out. And I was just talking to Aurelia about this, but like 10 to 12 sessions to some people doesn't seem like that much. Like there's people in MMHA who have shorter sessions and they're like, oh, I do twice that. I'm like, well, good for you. We're not in competition. I can't do twice that. I get burned out on 12.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm pulling back and I'm going to be just doing like one a day, I think, for a while. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, thank you so much, Aurelia. Do you guys have any other questions for the lovely, brilliant, and ever so wise Aurelia Arnold?
Thanks.
I have a quick question. Your monthly group, Aurelia, do you meet weekly or monthly for that group?
Well, we have a 21-day challenge. So every day we're in the group and we're sharing things because every month is a different
Oh, like in the Facebook group, you mean?
in the Facebook group, yes. But we
Okay,
have
okay.
2 calls once a month. So it's a ceremony where it's an embodiment ceremony, cacao ceremony, feminine ceremony, whatever. And then we have the group hypnosis. I think in the future, like I actually want to create something where it's like weekly group hypnosis. That's something that is on one of my goals. I don't know if I'll just create a separate membership for that or integrate that into my current. But yeah, it started out with once a month. Actually, no, we meet 3 because we also have a book club now. So we meet in a book club because we're reading books about mindset and money
Oh,
mindset.
nice.
So we meet once a month for that. So it's 3 times. Yeah.
That's
Janet would like to
great.
know how to contact you. What's your email? I mean, your website address.
The website is just
I'll put
aurelia.com. Oh, here.
AURAILIA.com, right?
Yeah, it's right there in the chat.
Oh, you did it and then I did it. Sorry. I see that. Okay.
Yeah, or on Facebook or, Instagram or team@aurelia.com is my email.
Might pick up a few new members in here because that all sounds like
Oh,
like
we
a
would
house
love to
that runs.
have you. It's a beautiful group of women that we're all on the same path, which I think makes it exciting when we're all growing
Mhm.
together. And yeah, I mean, feel free to reach out to me, contact me. I love, helping people. So if you have any questions, I will, try to help you as much as I can.
I love your energy.
Ah, thank you.
I really do. I will definitely reach out to you.
Yeah, yeah, it's like when I find that the people that when they do things and talk about things that they're really lit up, that's why, I say about like I want to help people get lit up by life. That's the energy that you're able to put out. It's because like I really love what I'm doing. I really believe in what I do, and that shows. That shows in my energy. Because if I came and talked about like, yeah, it's great, and we do this, and it's something that I don't really love, it shows. So I think energy is really, really important when you find the things that you love.
I
Thank you, though.
agree.
Yeah, you're doing some of the things that I want to do. I live in Italy, and what I want to
Nice.
do is start a bi-monthly group, a kind of a hypnosis, maybe even spiritual type group for Italian women, for Italian people, men, whoever wants to join.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, and what I'm going to offer, and I have all of these great ideas and I'm starting to work on them. I'm starting
Yeah.
to work on them, and the more that I work on them and get excited about it, the more creative I feel that I'm getting, and
Yeah.
I'm going through
I
this
think that's
moment.
going to increase.
I'm
Like
really going through
as you
this.
do it, if you just start the group, you're going to start getting more ideas just from having the
Yeah.
experience of the group. You're gonna like it'll kind of snowball on itself. It'll build itself,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's like something that sometimes I find people are in a loop. They are really excited about something, but they keep on trying to find more things and more things. And I like the best advice I can give you is start. Like wherever
Yeah.
you're at, start it and then allow it to evolve. Like I said before, like I was gonna be okay even if I had two or three people. Because it was like, okay, it's getting the ball rolling and the momentum starts.
Yeah,
And
I
then
feel
you
the
start
same.
changing.
I feel the
Yeah.
same. It's not like I want to start out with 100 people in my group.
Yeah.
Even two people,
Yeah.
and it kind of intimate at first, and then just grow from there, word of
Yeah.
mouth, and just putting it out there, getting it out there, So I'm good with that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah.
Cool.
I
Thank
think
you.
Angela had a question and then Anami. Angela.
Yes, Aurelia, I would like to ask if you are into tech stuff so much that you can do everything on your own, or do you have certain people to help you to have things posted or making those funnels, or do you do things all on your own?
At the moment, it's just me.
Wow.
It's like
That's
my dream is to have a team of amazing women that, can do this for me. And so that I can just like sit back and be the creative and do, but right now it is just me. And yeah, it does get overwhelming sometimes, but when I sit and I do the work. So I had a lot of trouble with like sitting and actually doing and putting together, but we do have a lot of time. I mean, I have a lot of time during the day. Um, and now I'm like very focused. Like I found that I wasn't focused and able to do these things because when I didn't have clarity of what my business was going to look like when you don't have clarity on your big vision, when you don't have the clarity on like what it was that you want to create, I found that I was like kind of all over the place, and my energy was like doing things that weren't really important to my business, just kind of filling in the space. So I was actually procrastinating, but now with the clarity, I'm very focused so I can do the things that are important. So it's not so bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, but I find myself in a place that I'm shifting from a one-to-one or group at home practice to online, and you need to know a lot about computers and programs to have
Yeah.
everything in order. I think for me, it's still a search party.
Yeah, and you don't need to overwhelm yourself with all the stuff. I think starting out with simple, just simple back
Mhm,
end stuff. Um, I mean, I know a lot about back end and websites, so it does help me.
mhm,
Um, but just like trying simple, like you don't need to have like this incredible website, just one page website is enough. You don't really need that much. Having certain things like Calendly to set up for appointments, just like don't make it too complicated. The simpler it is to start off, then from there you can see what works, right? Because if
mhm,
you start with too many things, then you're just like, you don't know what works. You want to just
mhm.
start out simple and then like see where it takes you. I
Thank
hope
you.
that helps.
Great
Thank
Yeah.
you very
advice.
much,
Great
very
advice.
much. Thank you.
Okay.
Annemie, did you have a quick question?
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm in the Netherlands actually, and I have found that in the discovery calls I do with people, they can book a first session, which is a longer session because you have to do a lot of conversational hypnosis. They have to get to know you, and from there they can book a package of 3 sessions to continue. And then we go into the QHJH
QJ.
stuff, right? But lately I've noticed that people are reluctant to pay my price, which is not very high. It's 250 euros for a 2-hour session. But in the
Yeah.
Netherlands, I find that you really have to have a big name and be very known in your business before people pay more than 100 or $150 euros. So
Yeah.
what you said about trying out a lower price and make it a shorter session just to get people in and they get to know you and you can give them a taste of hypnosis. You don't have to do a full session. It's
Yeah.
just that they see you face to face. And so I'm going to try that out. That was very helpful. And the other thing is, I have a short email list of about 200 people at the moment. And I've always heard, and you mentioned the name of Jason Lynette, you have to have at least 5,000 or 10,000 people in your email list. And I was just thinking, and I was almost giving up. But now that you tell me that you don't really need to have a big email list to start your business
No.
rolling and growing, that was really helpful. So that was another big light bulb for me. So thank you.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. I was told that so many times by coaches
I
and
only have like 1,200 after 5 years. So like, yeah, you don't need 5,000.
no,
So
no,
yeah.
listen, there's a difference between you can have 10,000 people in your email list, but if they're cold calls, like if they're cold,
Yeah.
which means like people that don't really follow you or you're not really your clients, then you're
Don't
not going to
actually
have
open it
sales.
and read it. Yeah.
Yeah, they,
It
they
doesn't.
might read it, then they're like, I'd rather have 200 of people that really like love me and follow me and get excited about my new offers than to have 5,000. I would like that to
I
me is
agree.
more, I would make more money probably and have more success with 200 warm audience than 5,000 cold audience. And it's the same
Mhm.
with
Yeah.
Instagram. It's the same with Instagram or Facebook. If you only have 300, 500, it doesn't matter. It's like, who are those people that are following? Are they people that really see you as a leader, as someone that can help them? Do they love your energy? And that's something that I also wanted to mention. It's like, show up as you, like show up in your energy. Because I find like when you show up, and I know it's hard to show up on video and do that in front, but if you just show up as you and your energy, you're gonna like the right people are gonna find you. Your people are gonna find you. But if you're just coming up and just talking to the general the general crowd, and you know, you're going to have all sorts that are really not going to connect. Yeah.
Or conversely, if you're a perfectionist and you're only showing up as the curated version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's exhaust the crap out of you eventually, because you can't keep that up. It's not sustainable. So then you have these people who are expecting that because they resonated with that version of you, which isn't even the authentic you. And now you're stuck doing it.
Yeah.
Yuck. Nobody wants that, right? I don't want that for you. I want you to love
Yeah.
your job and love your clients and have passion for what you're doing. And if you exhaust yourself by trying to be a curated, perfect version of yourself, you're not going to be able to give that to people, right?
No. And people don't want that.
I mean, I was just going to say, yeah, they don't. I mean, people don't. Like on TikTok, I see that people that are just really rare, I mean, raw and vulnerable and real are the ones that have the biggest followings, not the ones
Yeah.
who come on and perfectly polished with, you know, all of the subtitles like bam, bam, you know, all that.
Yeah.
Like there are those. And I'm going to use Jason Linett, and I hope he doesn't get too mad, but he's very polished. He's tanking on TikTok. Okay. Then we have somebody like Elise Myers, who is just like raw. Her hair sticks out in funny places. She's usually got us like baby burp stuff on her shirt because she just had a baby not too long ago. And she has, I think, like 11 million, if not more now.
Wow.
Last time I checked.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
big difference, guys. So yeah, and we all, there's an audience out there for everybody, right? And I mean, I was going to suggest real quick, and we're going to go over this in my marketing class, so show up for that. But
I will.
if you whatever the rate is that you want, the one that you know that you need in order to sustain your life, right? Whatever that is, 250, 350, whatever that is. If you have a lower price thing that can get people in the door, like what Aurelia was talking about with the 45, and then have something that's outrageously high, that they're like, oh, like $6,000 for I don't know, a 3-month program, then that one that you actually need, you know, in order for your business to thrive will be the one that they end up going towards. So they'll try the little taster one, or they'll go to that one, they'll try the taster and then go to that one. But every once in a while, you might actually get somebody who does the $6,000 one, and you'll be like, whoa. But that's how I get people to pay the rate that I'm at, because it's $222 for colleagues, but it's $444 for non-colleagues. But what they'll see is that I have this other thing that's only 27, and then I have a much higher one that's 4,600. And so they're like, oh, 444, that's not that much. And then if they get 3 sessions, they get a discount on it. So anyway, you might already know that, but I just wanted to like, if you put that on your website, it starts to like herd the people towards the one that you actually want them to buy.
Yeah, and there's a big discussion out there about putting prices on your website or not. But I've decided that I'm going to do it because it's not really honest to entice people to make an appointment without them knowing.
I have the prices on my website, but in the past, I've worked with people on more of a bespoke level, and then I don't put the prices for that because I'm working with them on a very customized, personalized, like hypno coaching level, and everybody comes with different issues and they're at different points in their life. So that like one person might get quoted a few hundred and another might get quoted a couple thousand just based on what they need from me. But I don't really do that so much anymore. So now I do have my prices. But like, I think that there's a time and a place for both. Yeah. But then again, you know me, I'm not the black and white thinker. I don't do the one size fits all. So those controversies where everybody's like, no, it has to always be this way. No, it has to always be that way. I'm the one who comes in and goes like, can't we just do both? Why does it have to be one or the other? Anyway, but thank you so much, Aurelia. I noticed a couple people came in later. I hope it's not because the original email that I sent out that you didn't get the next one. There was an oops, I got the time wrong. Oops.
Yeah.
Dyslexic Kryssa strikes again. Sorry about that. Sorry, Christine. There was a second email that came out within like 30 minutes of the first one that said, oops, please come at the right time. So, but I will make sure that I put this in the group feed.
Yeah.
So it will be available. And they'll all be available in the group feed. If you go to the top of the group where it has media, if you click on media, you'll find the videos of everything we've ever done. you know, that's how you can find those. Hi, Casey. Hi, Christine. Sorry that you're joining late to the party. Just to watch the replay.
Sorry.
It was brilliant. Aurelia's brilliant. She had so many great insights. Oh, Ruthie Ann. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
you
want to say
said
something?
you could have put the replay in the group on Facebook.
Mhm.
Do you have a YouTube for the group for the QJH?
I have a Quantum Journeys Hypnosis YouTube channel, but what I could
For the
do
master,
is
these
create like a
master
separate
classes.
little, yeah, I could do like a private thing just for the students and graduates as part of that YouTube channel. I don't want it to be public to the whole world, though. I don't want
Okay.
these to be public to the whole world.
No. I thought, yeah, for the QJH, I thought it was private, or is it not?
Not the YouTube channel, no. It's
No.
it's public. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It has the podcasts and it has like video session clips so that we can start getting more clients that are interested because they're seeing those and going, oh, I think I want to channel God too. That looks like fun.
But we are God. Oh, excuse me. Oh.
I know, but they won't know that till they have a QJH session. So yeah, but you know what? I could do like a little separate private group inside of that YouTube channel, then give you guys that. But also in the Facebook group, the videos are available. So this will be up within like 24 hours or so.
Okay, cool.
All right.
This is really-
Yes.
this
Thank
is
you so
awesome.
much,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you, Aurelia. Yeah, and we're going to meet again on the 15th of next month. I'll be starting the deep dives back up pretty soon. I had some personal stuff going on that prevented me from jumping in back into that. But for now, we do have these happening on the 15th of every month. And then pretty soon we'll be doing the deep dives too, and you guys can jump in on those as well. So, all righty. Take care, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you,
Bye, Krista.
Aurelia. Thank you, Krista.
You're beautiful. You're brilliant.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.